Okay, I'm going to show you how to install Nostalgic, Warehouse. Let me show you here, Nostalgic Warehouse. And what I've got is I've got some really cool, kind of a Craftsman style door handle. Along with the long plates, this is what it looks like. And these are privacy. I've got privacy and passage. I'm going to show you how to do a privacy. So here's what you got. So when you first get your lock on the locking mechanism, if you look, it's going to be difficult to show you this, but this piece here, let me pull this off. Bear with me here. Okay, so this piece here can spin around. Well, on a privacy lock, on a passage it doesn't make any difference, but on a privacy lock, you see that little hole right here, and it's threaded. That's where your pin goes to lock and unlock your door. So that needs to be on the inside. So if you put that on the inside, so this is the outside. On my outside, this is the inside. So if you put that on the inside, you flip this around, and now it's on the inside. You want to make sure your striker is turned in the right direction, like that. Okay? Get it? Look around the other side. Okay? That's your threaded hole where your pin's going to go. So that's set up, and what I didn't show, I'll take it off camera, but I did it off camera. I took my little striker plate, and what I did is I put this up here. I took a pencil and I just drew around it, then I popped it off, and I got a nice, really nice razor sharp wood chisel, and ever so slightly just notched where that line was. Just took it all out. Nice, clean, square, good as I could do. And then I'm going to put this back on here. That fits up in there really good. And I use a special drill bit. This is show you here. This is a pilot bit. So it lines up, self-aligning, and so you put it inside that little opening right there, and it pushes against it, and then the drill comes out and it self-centers. So pretty cool. It goes just like this, and it just self-centers. I'm using, I think, a 7/64 or something like that. Let's see here. Yep, 7/64. I've got a whole kit, comes with different sizes. So now I've got a nice little pilot hole, and it's straight. It's not crooked. It's the right size. And basically, I take two drills. I have one set up with the pilot, and then I have one set up with a standard Phillips. And I put it on here. And nice and gentle. Boom. Very nice. And then I'll put the second one on. Sorry, I'm trying to do this with one hand while I put together. Okay. So the second one. There it is. Okay, next step. So it's in. It's going the right direction. My pin is in here so I can unlock and lock it. I've got this little piece right here. Okay. See this? This spins. This is what goes through the door. This was a little tricky figuring this out at first, but here's how it works. You go from the outside of the door with that little pin sticking up, and you slide it until it hits that pin. See that? That's what I did originally. And I went, this doesn't work. I have no idea. I don't know what's going on. Why won't it work, right? It doesn't make sense. So I said, okay, well, let's try the other side. I pulled it out, and I went around the other side, and I put it in, and same thing. Doesn't make sense. So I said, okay, what am I missing here? So I just checked it out for a little bit and finally figured it out. So watch this. See that pin? It's actually spring loaded. So what you have to do is you have to push down that little pin. And I need another hand. Let's do it this way. So you can push it down, and then it goes inside. Keep pushing until it clicks. Now, that won't come out. It's locked in there solid. If you look, the pin is on the other side now, popped out. That took me a little while to figure out. I didn't read the instructions. So there you go. So now you're set. You want to check and make sure that your latch is working. So I'll just take one of these and I'll slip it over. And let's see. Look at there. Works beautifully. Nice heavy knobs. I'm really impressed with this Nostalgic Warehouse. Brass, really heavy, pretty good quality. Although this is a bronze and it scratches fairly easy, so you got to kind of keep any tools away from it. But pretty nice. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I look, so to shut it, and you can see it's crooked. So I'm going to line it up just like that. Make sure it's, you know, parallel with the door. And I will use my pilot tool again. Looky there. And I will drill all 4 of those holes. But I'm going to put the phone down for a second, or pause for a second, and I'm going to drill it, and then I'll show you after it's drilled. Hold on a second. Okay, here I've drilled out. If you look, those holes are all drilled out. Nice and centered. You don't have to fight it. They're not crooked. Pretty cool. And I will put in the proper screws. So when you do this, you'll find 2 types of screws. See that screw? That's got a little rounded head on it. You can't see it, but it's got a little dome top to it. And the other ones are flat. The flat ones are for the striker plates and latches. And then the domed ones are for the door handle backing plates. So I'm going to put these in now, and then I'll do the other side. Okay, as you can see, I've got the screws in. The handle operates correctly. I'm going to put, here's the little locking pin, just a button on top, threads on the bottom, goes right inside this hole here, and a little tricky to find it, but there's some threads down in there. There we go. And you thread it in. Thread that thing all the way in, and that's how you got privacy. That unlocks it, that locks it, and from the outside you cannot unlock it right now unless you do that. If you happen to lock yourself in the room for some reason and you don't know why, they have supplied a little small key that goes on the outside that pushes against this and unlocks it, and I usually hang those up above the door. Anyway, so that's it. Now when you close this, there's no striker yet, and you see it's loose in the door, right? Shouldn't be like that. So I'm going to show you how to put the striker on and to adjust it so you have a nice, solid, properly closing door. Okay. Okay, so this is looking at the casing, the door jamb, and these are brand new doors. And if you put this up here, you'll find that it doesn't quite fit well. In fact, this is kind of pushed back maybe a little too far. So there's some work I have to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to draw it out, and then I'm going to set this in a little better. And I'm going to take my wood chisel and I'm going to chisel it out so that it sets in the right position so that when the door shuts, it's not all loose and wiggly. So let me do that now.